Hey, what's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thank you so much for taking the time to check my video out. And today we're going to be talking about two things. We're first going to be talking about War of the Spark, and we're also going to be talking about Modern Horizons. Now, I've never really done a video where I've kind of talked about stuff that's kind of like come out. Like, I've done like a couple, but I haven't done like a ton, and I'm just kind of like unsure about how I want like the direction of like these kind of videos to film, because like these two topics I feel like are really big and really important, and this is kind of like my, I would say, like pre-thoughts. I would say like stuff like we don't really have a lot of information out there, but I still wanted to film this because I think there's some really interesting stuff that's going on in these upcoming two new products, and I kind of wanted to like talk about them. So should we talk about War of the Spark or should we talk about Modern Horizons? I'm gonna do War of the Spark first because that's the tab I have open. Again, there's really not a whole lot of information about this, but basically this is going to be the next Ravnica set, and it's coming out, it's going to be officially released on May 3rd, but it said the pre-release is always like a week before, so I think it's like April like 27th around there, so it's about like a month and a half away, I would say. And basically, this is going to be a pretty different type of set that's going to be coming out, because each booster pack that you open is going to contain a Planeswalker card, and there are a total of 36 Planeswalkers in the set, which is just outlandish and insane and pretty cool at the same time. And I feel like Paul and I were in a conversation about this the other night, and we were, he was just like, I don't feel like a lot of the Planeswalkers are going to be very good. Like, it's really like hard to determine what this is going to kind of be like. And they're all new cards, and I feel like I'm not really like, I think this is really cool. Like, I'm really excited. I really want to know what you guys think about this. I think it's definitely going to be an interesting, different type of thing. And it honestly kind of reminds me of when they did like the expeditions and all that kind of stuff, and the masterpieces and the invocations or inventions or whatever they were called. And they're kind of just trying out like a different type of product. And to be honest, I can't really fault Wizards of the Coast for that, because I feel like trying out different types of things and seeing what people really like is a really good idea. The thing that bothers me is when people like something and they don't continue it. For example, I thought that in not invocations, those were trash. Oh my god, I literally just said them, the masterpieces and stuff. I thought those were awesome. I think, in my opinion, like, every set should be like that. I want to get, like, new exclusive art for stuff. I want to get things that are full art, things that are, like, it just makes, like, pack opening just so much more fun, knowing that there's a chance that you could open up something so unique and so different. And the fact that I feel like all of the feedback that I've heard about that type of stuff has been awesome. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're not doing that. And I'm just like, what? Like that bothers me when I feel like people say that they really like something, or people say they don't like something, and they continue doing it even if people don't like it and people don't buy it. But I guess enough people have to be buying a certain thing if they're like, they have to look at their like the math and like how much money they're like acquiring. So like obviously it's good, but just hearing like feedback from a lot of like other players and stuff, and just how things aren't, but I appreciate them for trying out something new. I think this is really exciting. I'm pumped. I feel like this is going to be really awesome for new players, and I always think about this with like through multiple lenses, right? You have like a new player lens, which means like if you have a new player opening up like a Planeswalker, that's super exciting. For older players, for like people who collect cards, for people who play like EDH, for like, this is all just going to be like across the board. I feel like it's going to appeal to multiple different audiences. I think that's really exciting. I'm also really pumped that we have like this, I'll insert the link in the down bar below, but there's like the stained glass aspects, which honestly reminds me of like the Teresa Nielsen art that came out like last August, I think it was, which I have, and they're just the most stunning thing in the world. They're so pretty. I like, quick side note, but yesterday I bought, if you've seen my Magic card like collection video, we have one of like they don't do these anymore, but it was like the box, not the cheap ones, but like the Ravnica one, not OG, but the Return to Ravnica one, and we have our box, and I brought it yesterday, and people were like looking through it, and I don't really let people like look through that and like take cards, because that's like cards that Paul and I have that we want to keep for the most part. But I let go of a couple cards last night because I was trading for stuff, and like as people were going through, I was like, yeah, like those are like the Teresa Nielsen ones, and no one's getting those. So I was like, don't even look at those, because they're so pretty. But I just appreciate that they're trying something cool. I think this is going to be really exciting, and I think appeals to multiple audience. So that's kind of like my quick overview on War of the Spark. I'd really like to know what you guys think in terms of like, are the cards going to be good or not? I feel like there's a lot of like always sort of like pushback of like when they try something like, oh, like they're just going to be underwhelming. And honestly, I feel a couple of things about this. I feel first off, and I remember listening to, I've been so bad about listening to podcasts, but the Game podcast with Brian and Jerry Thompson, and they were saying how like, Brian I remember was saying how it's kind of unfair that the Planeswalker is always the best card in the set. It's always this thing where every time you open up a pack, you play a Planeswalker, it's the bomb, you win. And like, I agree with him. Like, it is dumb. Like, it is dumb that that is always seemingly the be-all, end-all. And especially when you're playing in a limited type of environment where, you know, you're playing with commons and uncommons and like 5-mana 7/7s that like seemingly on other levels look awful, but they're so good and limited. And I think that's super fun. So I agree that I think it's kind of unfair that Planeswalkers always get that. Well, it has to be great. Also, Planeswalkers have kind of been formulaic. They've kind of been like, the uptick is some sort of like make a token, the downtick is some sort of like destroy, and then the ult is just a variety of like you in the game. And it's just kind of silly. It's formulaic. It's kind of been done before, and I'm kind of like interested to see like what things that we do that are a little bit different. I wonder if they're going to do like the flip Planeswalkers, which TBH, I'm not a huge fan of. I just don't really like them. But in terms from an EDH lens, because you guys know that's my format, I'm really pumped. I'm excited to see new art. I'm excited for like to see a lot of my favorite Planeswalkers get new cards. Cross my fingers for Elsbeth. I don't know if it's been confirmed. She's like my favorite, just in case you were not aware. I have deep, strong connection. I have deep, strong emotional feelings towards Elsbeth. She's my girl. So, anyways, if you want to like find any information about it, I will list the wiki page in the down bar below, which is what I'm looking at right now. So we'll list that below, and then the stained glass stuff, if I remember, because it's real pretty. Okay, now let's talk about Modern Horizons. So I just want to give the kind of like disclaimer and let you guys know that I have not been playing Modern. I don't think I can ever really see myself playing Modern again. However, I still have feelings about something like this because I have friends who play Modern, and also I, again, come out with lenses where I think about, I'm an EDH player, so I may not necessarily get something out of this product, but whatever for people who are new to the game, or whatever people who are just getting into Modern, for people who are playing Modern, like how is this set going to benefit them? And I remember first reading the kind of like description for this, which again, it'll be listed in the down bar below if you want to check out the link. And it says it will be a mix of reprints not yet legal in Modern. So we're not doing just random reprints, and new cards. So the thing that intrigues me about this, I mean, there's a lot of things, but the fact that we're not doing reprints really confuses me in this type of product, and maybe it's kind of one of those things, again, these are like pre-reactions, these are just things that I'm looking at with pretty little information and kind of like inferring like what I think this is going to be, but TBH, like, why are we not reprinting stuff? I felt like that was always the point of cards of sets like Modern Masters, and so I'm like, okay, we're trying something a little bit different, I guess, where we're not doing reprints, but I felt like that was the whole point. And I feel like, honestly, one of the things that most excited me about stuff is when cards get reprinted, the prices go down. And it's beneficial for me, it's beneficial for realistically a lot of people, because reprints means that you pay less for your cards, and honestly, why pay more money for a card that you can get for less if it gets reprinted? Like, honestly, I feel like that just makes sense. So I feel like the whole mass group of people who are like buying these products, there are people who are going to be upset, but honestly, there's people who are going to be upset about any product that you put in front of them. So like, I feel like it's like, oh, well, those people don't like them, and it's like, okay, well, like, there's always going to be like pushback. There's always going to be stuff where people are like, oh, I didn't like that. So that's the thing that confuses me the most. And honestly, at first I was like, well, that's stupid. Like, I think that's dumb. Why are we not reprinting cards? And I still feel that way. I'm trying to be open-minded, and I'm trying to be like, okay, but I don't really know yet. Now we have, okay, so let's break this down a little bit more. So a mix of reprints not yet legal in Modern. There's a lot of people who are pining for particular cards that will be left unnamed, but I think that ultimately what this is going to do is this is just totally going to change what Modern is. And that's great, and that's exciting, and I think this is going to be a really big change. I'm wondering if there will potentially be some unbannings with this, because then it'll just be like an actual free-for-all and people will just go absolutely nuts and do whatever. And I think that's going to be so sweet. I think this is going to be really healthy, and I'm really intrigued to see like what kinds of things this comes about, because like ultimately when I see new cards, I think sweet new commander cards, and that's just me, myself personally, and a lot of other people who are like me who just play commander. I think this is going to be really exciting. I'm obviously, like, to look at both of them, I'm obviously going to be going to the War of the Spark pre-release because I go to, like, every pre-release. That's, like, for those, like, big sets. I don't know if I'll go to this pre-release. It just really depends. Again, because I don't play Modern. I really don't foresee myself ever, but like there's definitely going to be cards, which, just to shout out the new Angel Sarah Planeswalker, yeah, you know it's going in Angels because she's awesome. And potentially Ladies too, because she's really good. So, yeah, I feel like as a whole, I'm like I feel like I don't have a lot of information to really, and that's okay. Like, I think like one of the points of this video was just to really like take a step back and just be like, okay, with this information that I have, how do we initially feel about things? Because it's like first impressions, like, you know, whether you want to like still get to know that person more, you still have those initial first impressions of how you feel about someone, and those are still valid. And not always, but I think that these are just my thoughts upon seeing the set and like how this is going to look. In terms of like how excited, I mean, again, I don't play Modern, but like I think for other people, I think this is going to be really good. I think the ultimate thing with this is it's just going to change the format up, and I think it's going to make it way more accessible for newer players to the format, and that's really exciting for me. Is anytime we can bring new people into the format and make it more accessible financially, that makes me really excited. So yeah, I would really like to know what you guys are most excited for. If you guys are excited about these products at all, maybe you're like, I think this is silly. Why are we doing this? I was really bummed that they discontinued or whatever their whole Modern line. I thought that was really great. I really liked it as a place. Again, I don't have emotional feelings towards Modern because I don't play it, but I care about it in terms of financially for other people and people having accessibility to Magic cards. And I feel like this is going to be a potentially, and I think a really good beneficial thing in terms of changing the format up. So guys, that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you guys in my next video next week. Bye.